And can you hear me tonight? Let me know down below if you can hear me. I believe you can, because then we got 50% of this little show going. So it's like, he know that you can hear me, then we will let this little show of ours start. Just remember, this stream is only for the sexy looking people.
This dance ain't for everybody. Only the sexy people.
Thank God. Thank you so much, my dear Ron Jeremy, my star, my B-star. Anyway, so yeah, we got messed up a little bit yesterday. We know how it goes, right? I am the worst streamer on the interweb. But thank you so much. Thank you. We got, there's a lot going on in the Polkadot ecosystem. Now, that goes without saying, right? But we're gonna run through some highlights. And I think that one of the major highlights that we need to talk about when it comes to the Polkadot ecosystem, when it comes to the Kusama ecosystem, is obviously what have we been seeing when it comes to Akala. Not Akala per se, but the AUSD, the native stablecoin of the Polkadot ecosystem. And am I happy? Am I happy to see my soul brother, Shahid, he is here. I honestly believe, Shahid, he has not missed one single stream of mine, right? We gotta say, big love, lots of love to Shahid. I love you so much. But slightly out of sync. Okay, I might be out of sync, but we gotta live with that. If you can hear me, now that's the best, because if I gotta go with the sync thing, then it will be an all-nighter. So I hope we can live with that. We need to live with that, because today it's the information that is important. So, let's start. Let's get this little show of our goings. And I actually think it goes a little something like this. I want to welcome you to Crypto Never Sleeps. In case you're new to this channel and you want to stay on top of the crypto world, but then please hit like, smash subscribe so that you can be notified every time we upload new videos, so that you can, and this is important to me, protect your wealth, preserve your wealth, and ultimately increase your wealth. My name is Nico Arachi, and I'm the host of this little show. So, it is time to concentrate on Polkadot and Kusama, as we have been seeing their Parachain auctions happening for now more than a year. I think we're almost into the second year. Now, I have to say, we haven't participated in all auctions, but in many of them. And we will actually continue to do so, because the price of both Kusama and Polkadot, they are so low, all between 88% to 95% from their all-time high. So any one of you that wants to participate or be a part of the future of finance, you need to participate. So all I got to say is, let the chaos begin. But just remember, my chaos right here on this channel has been nothing but profitable. The future of finance is being built right in front of our eyes, and it's being built on the blockchain. And from my point of view, it's being built on Ethereum, on Polkadot, and for that matter, Kusama as well. Cardano, we're going to talk a little bit about that very slightly, and Solana. So do yourself a favor, watch this stream, don't waste your time, share with friends, family, with Sister Shirley and Brother Kamal, instead of watching other videos, other streamers that don't know shit about crypto. That's all I got to say about that. First things first, we do need to go in and have a look at the level of market manipulation. Remember, that's how we start. So when we go in, what are we looking at? The 15-minute. It looks like we are seeing, well, if you look at this, I think it goes without saying, when we look at these four lovely charts, right? We're looking at Polkadot, which is currently at $6.31 down a year. And we're looking at BTC, of course, which is currently trading at almost 19,000, 18,966. Cardano hovering around the 5-cent dollar, 44 cents on the dollar. And then we got, of course, Ethereum at 1,323. And but what we again take out of this market correlation or market manipulation, I think it goes without saying. Look at that. Look at that. They go like soul brothers, right? That's just how that goes. We all know it's being manipulated. We live with it. We understand it, but we still believe in the future of finance. So let's look here And here we can say that we're looking at the weekly BTC, and we can still see that we are below the 7-day moving average, very much below it. The question should be, because when we analyze these charts, we will get to Polkadot, that goes without saying, right? But I just think that BTC is an overall indication of the overall market. So I know that this is so simple that it's almost funny. But when we look, once we go, this is going to be very quick, once we go above or below the 7-day moving average, we tend to stay below them for quite a while. Now, of course, it can always change, right? We can see down here, we went up, but then, we were up only for like 3 or 4 weeks, but still almost a month, and now we are below. So it's quite clear that the usual, if we look at this 7-day moving average weekly, we can see once we break either above, we tend to stay there for quite a while. Then here again, we went below, but then again above. So I think that if, many people that talk about these 3 cycles that we have, right? So we went down here, that's basically the first drop, went up a little, but not a lot. The second drop, now we're doing, I don't know, we were a little bit above, not long, and we could probably see the third drop, which maybe will take us to around the 12,000. I don't know. We're continually seeing increased volume. That means a lot, and it certainly means a lot that when we are seeing this amount of volume and still going down, that shows something. This week looks like we're going to have another big volume week. We're already this high, and we are only looking at Tuesday. But let's see. Are we actually going to break through? Which I don't think, because currently we are below. But let's see. So take this. I think that until now, the 7-day moving average has not really disappointed us. No, unfortunately or fortunately, you can be the master of that thought, because there are many other channels that try to make things much more complicated. If we look at Ethereum, we can see here it's basically the same. The first whatever down cycle, then a little bit up, down, a little bit up, and probably another down. And I would believe that we will probably see, that's why I kind of have, what I have in thought around the 700. I think around, it could go down a little lower, but I do think we could actually maybe even see the 700 somewhere below down there. I think we could see Ethereum. However, enough about that. Of course, since we're talking about today Polkadot, I think it deserves that we're going to go in and look at the price of DOT. Not that I know shit about technical analysis. We know that, right? But, okay, let's just here. At least we look at it together. That's the most important. Together forever. And with DOT, it also, I'm not going to look at the weekly too much there, because I think with Polkadot, it is more still correlating in terms of volatility and market manipulation in with the overall market. So we had what are we? We had 640, around 6. What are we now? Currently, we are at 620 and 630. Anyway, if we're gonna go, I don't. You see, with this, I don't know if are we gonna see it around the 4 or 5. I don't know, but I really don't know. But what I do think, and this is what is offering us awesome risk reward potential. You can go in here and you buy Polkadot, and you have the potential to go to its recent all-time high, 55. Now, I do want to jump back to Bitcoin, because if we look at the weekly, right, we go in and we scroll out a little bit, and we go back to, you can see here in 2017, right, we were down, then we had the high. We all know that the high at that time was around 20,000. Then we had approximately 3 years of bear market, crypto winter, call it what you want. But we went from the 20, we went all the way down to around 3,000. I imagine you would have bought at 3,000 when it came from 20,000. Because what we ultimately saw was that we pumped up almost to 70,000. Let's just call it 60,000, just for easy calculation. That means that is 3 times higher than it was at the previous high. And if you will go in and you will do your own research, you will understand that basically every time after an all-time high, we go down around 80%. And then when we retrieve back up, we don't only go to the past all-time high, we tend to go 3 times higher, from 20 to 60. And that was the same thing that happened with Ethereum. So imagine that would also happen with Polkadot. That means we could see Polkadot at $150. That is actually my price target. And that's a prediction. And in one prediction, number one or whatever, I think we can go to 150. That actually gives us much more potential than the 95, and where we are down around 88% here. But I think you understand the potential risk reward. That's all I got to say about that. Let's go in and see if anybody's in the mood for a chit chat and who's here. Time for a chat. Let's see who's here. I saw DJ Kusama. This is not a trailer. I already wrote that. Good to see you here. I need news that tell me I'm a billionaire. I don't know if you're a billionaire yet, but I do things that things look bright. And I think you will agree with my analysis, my short-term analysis that I just shared with you, right? 3 times higher than what we have seen in the past. That is actually what I'm going with. What do you say, Raymond? Do you believe in that theory? And I can see we got a new one. Dasti Jaffa, how are you doing? Please please talk about Glimmer and Moonbeam in long term. Well, that's easy to do. Moonbeam and Glimmer long term are set up to be, I would say, among the ultimate Polkadot blue chips. I mean, that goes without saying, right? I think if we really want to talk about the hardcore blue chips of the Polkadot ecosystem, I will mention them better now, otherwise I forget it. Of course, it's Polkadot, it's Kusama, it's Moonbeam, it's Glimmer, it's a Star, it's Shiden. That goes without saying. It's Centrifuge, it is Altair, and I believe it's Litentry. Lots of potential. I think Kyling has huge potential too. So there are maybe, and just if I forgot to mention some, doesn't mean that I do not love them. So let's go in and have a further look. We got Gen X Crypto. Microsoft has partnership with Matic and AVAX. Yep. And that is important. And Microsoft also has a partnership, if we want to talk about the Polkadot ecosystem, with a Star. And that is what we like. Kusama to 2K, dot to 200. I like you, Sith. I hope I pronounce it right. I write you because I actually think it is possible. My prediction was around 150, but I think you could be right with the 200. And I like Uginus Pomerkas. Pomernikas. Best time to stream. Thank you so much. It's good if we stream, if we have sound. Anyway, guys, we've got lots to talk about. I think we went over a few things already that were valuable, but let's get into today's presentation and go through it. That's all what we got. That's what we got to do. So huge news, huge news. I think the main news. I understand that we all want to talk about. We all always want to talk about. The news that can take us hundreds. That's the news we want to talk about. But sometimes it's also it's important to understand that the universe is still in order. And when it comes to the Polkadot and the Kusama universe, it was vital. It was vital that we are seeing the AUSD regaining. It still hasn't regained its parity to $1, but that it is going to do so. And I think, so this is the first thing we need to talk about. Maybe you just want to look at, let's have a quick look at the chart. You can see here in our little presentation, I hope it's okay, that we were in fact at one point already, I mean, we crashed. This is a short term. I think this is, we were down to, well, much further. This must be a too short price trend, but there was one day when we were down, I think it's a month or two ago or something like that, where the Akala dollar, the native stablecoin of the Polkadot and Kusama ecosystem, lost its value and crashed 90%. Now that was terrible. It was terrible. We were scared. I wasn't as scared as that this would be a terror situation. Of course, I had to be cautious, but I did say to my very, very dear lions, my dear friends, I said, maybe it's a good time to convert some of you BUSD, you USDC, you USDT into the AUSD, because I believe it is going to reach parity or par with the dollar. Right now, it's 90 cents on the dollar. There's only 10% left. So I still believe that you can get the AUSD at a 10% discount and make easy 10%. That's what I think. Why was I so sure about that? Well, let's just first hear the Akala AUSD token, which acts as the native stablecoin, as said, saw its value actually plummet 99% as after a misconfiguration of the IBTC and AUSD liquidity pool was exploited after its launch in August. So since then, we have seen that the community have done everything they could, and they've also been able to, and they did issue and information, and they were able to track it and find it and come up with a plan. The plan was the following, and this year was launched in August, that they, after a final trace report for all AUSD error mints on Akala, they would release that. The community would verify the info using on-chain data and formulate proposals to resolve the issue. And the issue has actually been resolved. So the third step was community would then formulate proposals to recollateralize AUSD. This proposal has been formulated, has been communicated, and the good news is, which came out 1 day and 15 hours ago, was community referendum for stage 1 of resuming Akala operations has passed and been executed. Isn't that lovely? So liquidity pools who choose to unstake LP tokens or withdraw liquidity on Akala now have the option to do so. And I did so yesterday. I just wanted to test it. It worked fantastically. It worked beautifully. And you know, God bless the Akala team. And here we can see the tweet, which was, depending on where you live, issued it September 25th or 26th, where I live. And basically here you can just see that this is the tweet that I was referring to. I do, however, want to point one very, very important thing out. And why was it? Why was it that I was not scared that this was not going to be a Terra Luna crash or failure? I have here Kitty. She has been so, actually I think it was Cherry. Cherry, she was so nice to make this slide here where we put in the 4 co-founders, the 4 founders of Ethereum. We got Vitalik, of course, he needs no introduction. But then we also got Joseph Lubin, who is running the software shop in New York, in Brooklyn, I think, or somewhere there in Brooklyn. Consensus. And Consensus is the mastermind between all the big Ethereum protocols like Maker, like Compound, like MetaMask, all of them goodies, right? And then we have, obviously, Charles Hoskinson of Cardano. But then down in the corner, the main man of this little stream of ours today, Polkadot, Gavin Wood. I mean, he was the co-founder of Ethereum, and not only was he the co-founder, he was also the creator of the, what's it called, Solidity, which is the programming language for Ethereum and Polkadot. Now, I believe, and this could be this could be a conspiracy theory, my own theory. I do believe that both Ethereum and Polkadot is going to play an enormous role in the future of finance. I do believe that they are backed by the World Economic Forum. I think our good old friend Klaus Schwab, he believes in the blockchain and he believes in having competing ecosystems. Now, you know, it's always been like that. When we see, if you go back in history, you always see nobody likes monopoly too much, right? So you need to have some competing competitors competing basically for the same clients. And what are the clients that they are competing for? Well, it is all major global enterprises, banking, insurance, traveling, everything, because we need traditional industries to migrate onto the blockchain. And once they migrated onto the blockchain, of course, they can then choose, are they going to go the Polkadot route? Are they going to go the Ethereum? Are they going to go the Cardano? Are they going to go Solana? Are they going to go Avalanche? Are they going to go Binance? It doesn't matter as long as these blockchains, these base layers, they are interoperable. And I believe that Polkadot, the AUSD, it was a glitch. It was a bad situation, but they had the money, they got the support, and they're solving it. And that clearly needs to convince us all about the, let's say, the backing that they have from serious investors that believe in it. And now, I'm sorry to say it, I need to have a Bahama Mama moment in my throat, right? Bahama Mama. It's not really a Bahama Mama today, but you know, in cold Tennessee, it's hard to get, and in this tool to get all the ingredients. I don't have my refrigerator just around the corner. Before we move on to Polkadot, I do want to, well, first I want to say, when it comes to institutional investors, the number one holding is Bitcoin, the second one is Ethereum, the third one is actually Polkadot. Now, I love Charles Hoskinson. I like him the best of all these four pillars. I think Charles is kind of like a guy that you can imagine going around the corner, having a beer with, a little talk. And he is one of the four. However, if Cardano is not going to soon really prove something, they could be left behind. I will make a video on that. They could be left behind because the blockchain, the base layers, it's really, truly, it's a competition where time plays a vital major role, right? So anyway, but that's that. I love Charles, I love Cardano. I hope they wish them the best, but we got to watch out. They need to pick up. Anyway, so this is with the Akala and the AUSD. Let me know what you actually think about it, because I think that this was important in order to understand that trust and faith is still in the Polkadot ecosystem. Now here, what I wanted to point out very briefly is that originally we bought Polkadot at $2.49. We sold the first time at $37. We announced that on this channel. We made 1,389%. But what is more important is currently, Polkadot is at $6. Maybe it's a little lower, right? This slide was made yesterday. And so bear that in mind. But still, nevertheless, it's down. You can get an 88% discount. That would mean 754% to its recent all-time high. Now, if it's going to go to 200, you calculate that yourself. It's important that you do that. Furthermore, with Kusama, you see, often the question should be, should you go more heavily into the Polkadot ecosystem or the Kusama ecosystem? Well, that's up to you. I think that anyone that is going and, you know, that will ultimately end up on the Polkadot main net will most likely go through Kusama. I see the potential there. You know, look at this. I mean, look at this. First, we bought at $35. We announced it, and we sold at $530. We had 1,414%. But currently, we can see that it's down 93% compared to its ugly uncle, or wild uncle Polkadot. Which means that if you were to buy Polkadot, you would have 754% to its all-time high. And with Kusama, there is currently 1,376% to its all-time high. So, yeah, obviously, all of what I'm saying here is not financial advice. You need to do your own research. Remember, that's important. I need to do that one more time. Oh yeah, now we got that out of the way. I also want to understand what you think. Now here's a short overview of the Web 3.0, or let's say the Polkadot ecosystem, right? Basically, we're seeing the difference. We got DeFi, and we got Akala, Parallel, Composable, Centrifuge, Interlay, Hydra, X, Equilibrium, Polkadex, Bifrost, Conversation, and we got Totem, and then we got Moonbeam, iStar, Clover. In the Web3, we've got Affinity, Nodal, Phala, Unique, Litentry, and Origin Trail. Now, it goes without saying that as the ecosystem is growing, it's hard to Of course, if you got lots of money in the right pocket and in the left pocket and in the back pocket, then you can spread them on everyone. I would just say that if we just look at it here briefly, the ones that I am mostly invested into, and remember, I don't own anything and I'm quite happy, but Kitty, right? Kitty owns a lot. And she's into Akala, she's into Centrifuge, she is into a little bit in Equilibrium, a little bit in Bifrost, but one of the core holdings is Moonbeam, it's a star, and it is Litentry, and it is Origin Trail. You see, and it also goes without saying, right? When you see smart contract platforms, so what is Moonbeam and a star? Well, they basically help, let's say, bridge the ecosystem of helping already established Ethereum-based protocols, applications, decentralized applications onto the Polkadot into the Polkadot ecosystem. And therefore, I think that, it's kind of like the bottleneck. It doesn't work without them. There's one here missing. They're not all here. Remember, I love Kyling, right? So Kyling is an oracle, which I think has a lot of potential. But if we go over here, where I think they have unique opportunities, it is, of course, Litentry, because I've said this before, but I do believe that the next cycle is gonna really have two main focuses. It is on cloud storage, decentralized cloud storage, and it is decentralized identities on the blockchain. I think here we're gonna see huge potential. And then, of course, so now I was just referring to a little bit about Fala. I was referring to Litentry, right? Identity aggregation. And another one that we really need, that is Origin Trail, because it is about, and I always forget that word. I always forget it, but it's about, hallelujah, product, no, I forgot the real word. It's like tracking products, right? So it's shame on me when I would forget these words. But Origin Trail, it is about tracking products from where they're being produced until the end, onto the consumer. And you can see here, it's so basic with this little chart. I know we've been now spending a lot of time on it. There's a lot of competition when it comes to DeFi. And we are not going to need 982 DeFi protocols that are all going to succeed. So you got to concentrate on the biggest ones. Even though, and that's why I'm saying here, I think Akala and I think Centrifuge, they're going to be real big. Centrifuge, they are basically minting real world assets through an NFT onto the blockchain. I love it. But coming back to Origin Trail, they're basically the only ones. They're the only ones, right? It's like Chainlink being basically the major oracle. So you want to invest smart. You want to invest because we know when it comes to infrastructure that it is just as necessary to have oracles. It's just as necessary to have decentralized digital identity on the blockchain as it is to have DeFi. So you want to go into those protocols that doesn't have so much competition, because the opportunity, the risk reward is much bigger. I mean, I don't know if this took too long, but we gotta share as we go along. So the Parachain auctions, I want to mention just the last two that took care that was happening. We got Aventus, and that was on Polkadot, and they won. Now there's two things maybe to see here. So the latest one, Aventus, they had only 134 contributions, right? And remember that, I mean, these are an anonymous wallet, so it could be that one had more, but it's not a lot of people, right? And they raised 1.2 million dots. However, what is important to know is that these dots, they are locked for 2 years, and that's important. That's important to know. So what is Aventus? Well, it's an enterprise-grade layer 2 blockchain that marries the scale of a permissioned blockchain with the security and interoperability of public blockchains, but none of the drawbacks of either world. You should go in and look at that yourself. Does it have potential? Let's just move on here. We can see it won the 26th auction, and they're leasing it from August 28 until July 3rd, 2024. Remember, when you participate in the Polkadot Parachain auctions, you lock your dots up for 2 years. It is important. What did you get? The reward was for every dot you logged in, you got 3 AVTs, 3 Aventus. Now, in this case, it would be important, or it would be interesting maybe, to go in and see if Aventus is already trading. So let's just jump over so we can see how we do that here. Boom. Let's see here, AVT. Are they already on? Are they already listed? I'm also doing that sometimes so that you can follow it, you know, how I do these things myself, right? And then we can see here, event it's trading at $1.42. Let's look at, so obviously here, this is just one day. Let's look at all. Yeah, well, it had a high of about 7, which was in 2017. And now it is, so it's also down from its all-time high. But we can see here in the past, let's see here, 3 months. Well, yeah, it's had some spikes up, but basically down. But what is important when it comes to this is that you can then calculate what was the recent reward that you got if you would have participated in this auction. So you would receive 3 Aventus tokens, right, times 1.40. That is $4.20. That means that you receive 80% approximately. Maybe I'm a little bit wrong in the calculation. You receive around 80% of the dots that you log in. Right up there, right there. And I mean, there's lots of potential with Aventus potentially, right? I don't know that, but it could be. So I'm just saying that this is how it works. Now, there are 2 things to saying that. I personally am not always convinced about logging. You see, when we have Polkadot at a price that is 88% below its all-time high, I'm not sure, is it the best thing to lock them in for 2 years? I'm not sure. And the reason being, where does I have to find here? Sorry guys, here we are. Yeah, 1 second. You know, sometimes it's always like that. Then I cannot find the page I'm looking for. Yeah, on this great computer. But I know you bear with me. Here we are. So let's go in and look at DOT, right? So if we look at DOT now at $6 and you log him in, you get 80%, right, with the Aventus if you would have participated there. And that's great. But if it was like, let's say trading around 40, you were most likely also, you know, they adjusted. You would have maybe also gotten 80%. I would rather get 80% of a token that is around trading around, you know, much higher than yet now at $40, where the potential is the Polkadot will go down and then potentially up again. I just feel that the net reward profit, they are higher. But anyway, you have to do your own thing. You know, you know, because I don't know what the future is going to be. Is it better to log in the DOT at $6 and log them in for 2 years, or is it better to log them in maybe when they're at the all-time high and then and it also depends, of course, on which auctions you want to participate in. Food for thought where I don't have a clear answer, but let me know what you think. When do you prefer to participate? And then here, let's get back. Boom. So the next one that we were talking about here, we can see these are crowd loans on Polkadot auction 26 to 32. So that's cross network, which I think is a good one. And it is Omni BTC. We're not participating as of now, therefore you have to do your own research and you let me know. Let's move on to Kusama, because the latest Parachain winner on Kusama was Snow. Let it snow, let it snow. Protective bid auction 49, that was number 49, and you know that Kusama started way earlier than Polkadot. And what is this? A long-term incentivized network for cutting-edge development backed by the ICC token, which has real-world value. So it serves as a canary network for ICE. You should read that again, and you can also go in and you can see how much they raised, right? We can see here they raised only $600,000, which was 13,000 KSM. But what is funny is that you can see here there was 782 contributions. And if you remember when we looked at Aventus, there was only 130 some. That means that probably the ecosystem in Kusama is bigger. Should we go in, and I don't know if you want to look in here, you can see that for 1 KSM you would receive 4,000 ICC tokens. You know, it's better you go in and do your own, because time. I know nobody likes these streams that are like 1 hour long, so I'm gonna do my best to jump on. And if you have interest in that, you can go in and check it and how long it's been going on. So just give me a second here, all these seconds, and let me know how you're doing. Really, I love all the messages that I get from you guys. It's important that you share, because it really, nothing is better than when you share and say where you are, what you're doing, and what you like and what you don't like. Constructive criticism is really important. You have to believe me when it comes to that. Okay, so let's move on to the news. Let's see what's the news. Equilibrium. So what do? The EQD is Equilibrium's USD-pegged stablecoin that works to represent value in its DeFi ecosystem. As a decentralized stablecoin, EQD enters circulation when users open a collateralized step position on our platform. Obviously, this is also an interesting fact, and it's an interesting piece of news, because we're going to see more and more stable coins, obviously also in the Polkadot and the Kusama ecosystem, just as we're seeing in the Ethereum, right? We saw the TUSD, there's so many there, right? Also the USDT, the USDC, the BUSD. And then of course, now comes the, the risk factor, right? The risk factor. I can only say that my stablecoin portfolio is USDC, AUSD, and BUSD. Obviously USDT, which is now also live on Polkadot. I have it, I keep him, but I tend to prefer the main USDC, BUSD, and AUSD, even though it had that crack. What we also have here is that Subwallet partners with Bitcoin and launches its first metaverse. This is also nice to know, right? So Subwallet, they will launch the metaverse on Pioneer Bitcoin. It will provide its community with an online networking hub able to collectively build the Subwallet metaverse economy into a 3D world. Pioneer Bitcoin gives metaverse pioneers all of the tools that are needed to start creating a 3D world. Bitcoin virtual land ownership is secured through NFTs. I wanna mention something when it comes to NFTs. Remember, I believe that NFTs, there's two ways of looking at NFTs. The one way that NFTs have been presented to us is that it's art. It's dancing naked monkeys that are valuable, right? I don't believe so. I believe that the future NFTs have very much to do with contracts, has to do with ticketing. And I always mention ticketing. That can be when you go to a football game. It can be when you go to any kind of sports, but also when you buy a flight. But when it comes to contracts, it's insurance contracts. It is even when you make a will, when you buy a house. I believe that NFT has been sold to us very much about the metaverse and about a picture of a 3D naked monkey. But I believe that the real value will be in the commercial, let's say, transition from traditional onto the blockchain. Therefore, when it really comes down to the 3D world, when it comes down to the metaverse, it might really play a role in the future of finance. But right now, when we have the opportunity to buy quality over quantity, I would stick to the blue chips, the true blue chips, because there's one thing I can guarantee you, I do not know which NFT platform, except I'm very optimistic on Centrifuge, and Aave, of course, also because that's in combination. But other than that, really which protocol is going to overtake the metaverse is hard for me to say. And I think that will be the second cycle in the next cycle, or in the next cycle. First, we're going to see Bitcoin, Ethereum, all the blue chips. They're going to increase in price, and then ultimately, once they have increased, it will then trickle down. So what else do we move on to? Parallel Heiko. They have relaunched with, and that's good, with Moonbeam and Glimmer and Fala, right? And that is good. So there are four, and what they're offering now is they're offering 4 liquidity pools that will be initially added to the farm product. So you can see here, it's Glimmer and Para, it's Moonbeam and Heiko, Fala, Para, and Fala and Heiko. So users who are providing liquidity, remember that is farming, to these pairs and supplying they will receive liquidity tokens in order to farm on the Parallel and Heiko platform. Let me know if this is something that you are interested in. I have not tried it yet because I think we are farming on so many other platforms. And as of now, we're mainly doing it on Akala and Kavura, but I wouldn't underestimate Parallel and Heiko, right? Parallel Finance on Polkadot and Heiko on Kusama. And here we can see the pairs. Basically, what this is showing is that the overall industry is really increasing both in Polkadot and in Kusama. So here we can see it's obviously what we always want to know. This slide here, what does that say, right? It says the rewards per block, but we need things in perspective, right? So we have made this table here down below. Cherry made it, thank you to her, where we can see the APY respectively if we were to invest 30, 50, 100,000 liquidity with the 0.1 Heiko / block and the 0.3 parallel / block. The block is obviously the other token, and we can see here that the reward rate are Heiko and block is 32% and 29%. So not so bad, and yeah, we're gonna look further into that. Interesting, actually, I find it. So we can see here, yeah, we got a very specifically how you can participate. If you go into Parallel or Heiko, you can go in there, and then I would say, again, the interfaces are, of course, on Parallel, on Polkadot and Kusama, they're identical. But one thing I can say, they're working and they're fast and they're reliable. And this is where I believe that's why they're building up a promising future. Another lovely thing is the Binance US. They've listed A-Star native assets, the A-Star token, right? And we know that when things, they get listed on Binance, then it is always the major two exchanges that we have, or three, I would say. It's Kraken, it's Binance, and it is, of course, what's the one? The biggest one in America. I forgot that name. I think you know what I'm talking about. And let's see, do we have more? I want to now also go through, because we're already running, done this for quite a while. I want to go through a little bit of the portfolio, what we are holding. And so currently our Polkadot position is locked in Parachains. Should Kitty's dot position go to its all-time high, that would mean she would be holding 300,000. Not so much, actually, we think about it. Where are we staking? Well, this with Akala, that has obviously, they are now going to provide it back. So due to this incident that we had in the past few weeks, it has been 0. We've highlighted this, but let's see that it's going to resume and at what price. We're staking Moonbeam at around 5%. Should Kitty's position go up to its all-time high, then she would be holding Moonbeam at worth of 257,000. Hiling have also stopped their staking, and they have announced it, and they will come up with a new staking proposal. But as of now, so in case you were like me, not watching every week, you can go in on their site and you can then withdraw your position, and it's quite straightforward. Currently, Kyling is, let's see here. Currently, we can see Kyling is down 99% from its all-time high. I mean, that is, yeah, you can say that's an opportunity. And let's take this one away. This is the site, the page I was talking about. So in case you have been staking, but you didn't go in for the last, I don't know, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, like I don't look at it every day. You can go in there, you can claim your rewards, you can withdraw all, and you can see Kitty's position there is around 558,000 Kylings, which would make it, go to its all-time high around 1.5 million. Furthermore, with Litentry, we are staking that around 18% on Binance. We are staking that with farming that, buying liquidity with Litentry and USDT, around 18%. Of course, it varies, so just be aware of that. And let's say with Kusama and Kavura, we are also doing some farming there on Kavura. So we are providing liquidity to Kavura, LKSM at around 30%, Kavura AUSD 49%, and should Kavura go to its all-time high, it would be around 551,000 for Kitty's Kavura position. Of course, we are currently increasing these positions. So here you can see these are the liquidity pools that we are providing to. Karura AUSD at 49% APR, AUSD LKSM at around 31%, and Karura LKSM at around 30%. I love the interface. I think it makes sense, nice to use, and that's about it for today. That's about it. I think we also did a lot. Let me know if there is any questions, and yeah, let me see if we can go through them. 1 second here. I need to find where's the chat. Here we go. So that's it. That's it. Let me see. Anybody, what are you saying? I mean, we've got 28 views. That's about as much as we get for being the littlest channel. But I like Lee, our ambassador. Let's get equal to 35 subscribers. 35 subscribers. No, 35,000. There's one good thing. We just reached a new milestone of 2 million views, you know? We gotta take it. I mean, 2 million views, it sounds like a lot, right? Compared to the big channels, it sounds like a little. I never thought that I would get 2 million views. So we gotta celebrate that. I think times, they are going to be better. I believe that the fact that you are here, the fact that you're watching, makes you without a doubt pioneer. It makes you a lion, it makes you an eagle, it makes you all of these relevant things. I think you have a profound interest in life, in making a better life and understanding the future of finance. And that is why I love you so much. I thank you for being here. You know that. You truly know that. So take care. I hope I will be back tomorrow. I will let you know. And yeah, don't forget, don't be like the sheep, be like the lion. The lion leads. My channel might be little, but I consider myself a lion, just like you.
Courage, strength, leadership, bravery. Sheep follow the leader. They follow the herd. They don't know where they are going. Many times they are led to the slaughterhouse, but they keep following. They don't lead. They don't use their mind. A lion leads. It's about having the courage to stand and fight for your life, having the strength to go bravely in your own direction, even if others walk away. You tread your own path. Only you know what's best for you. Only you know what path to take. Only you know your courage, your strength, your heart. Everyone has the heart of the lion inside of them. Let it out. Let it scream out of you. Like the lion, unleash the beast in you.
Attitude is what you think, what you do, and what you feel about yourself. Attitude is everything in life. Guess why? Whether you rise or fall, everything is based upon the attitude that you showed up at that moment. Your attitude determines your altitude. Listening carefully. I've been through tough times. I've experienced it, and I want you to know that it wasn't my money that brought me this far. It was my attitude towards life. It was my attitude to keep going when the going gets tough. That is the lion attitude I'm talking about. The question is, what is your attitude towards life? What do you think of yourself as I'm talking to you now? Do you think of yourself as how God thinks of you? Or you think of yourself as how friends and family members think of you? You need the lion attitude. The attitude to take charge of your destiny. You need the lion attitude that says, I can. You need the lion attitude. The attitude that says, I will, because I'm bold enough to fight. You need the lion attitude if you are standing in for greatness. Real lions They are hungry when the time comes for their mission. Lions are not followers. They are leaders who lead the rest of the animals. Become a lion. Be fearless. Don't talk. Walk the talk. Real lions, they demonstrate who they are. A lion does not seek respect. They command respect and authority because they know they should be respected. Be a lion. A sheep follows the leader. A lion leads. It's about having the courage to stand and fight for your life. Having the strength to go your own direction, even if no one believes in you. Follow your heart. Only you know what is best for you. Only you know the path to take. You have the heart of a lion inside you. Let it out. Don't fit in. Stand out and use your gift.
The lion is certain. There are no maybes with the lion. This is my decision and I will attack until the outcome is mine. No one will push me around. No one will tell me where to go or what to do. If I want something, I will go after it with everything I have inside me. The sheep is not certain. That is why the sheep follows the herd, not knowing where they are going, not caring, just drifting through life, being pulled and prodded, being sheared from head to toe until there is nothing left to give. And that is what I see in many of you. Life, the world, and society is shredding you of your very self. Head to toe, you lose your own unique footprint. You become what others want you to see, not what you want to be. Don't let anyone push you around. Be like a lion. Roar so loud with your own spirit that no one will doubt you ever again. No one will question your goals. No one will dare challenge you again, because you certainly will shine through like the lion.